Rap queen Remy Ma is currently fighting for her life in the ICU after a sudden and severe medical emergency. Her husband, Papoose, is said to be devastated, seen pleading with doctors to save her as she struggles with alarming symptoms such as internal bleeding, violent seizures, and organ failure. Just one day, she was perfectly fine, and the next, she was connected to life support machines. The incident has left the hip-hop community in disbelief, with both fans and fellow artists expressing their support and concern on social media. What makes the situation even more unsettling is the lack of information about what actually occurred. The hospital has kept all details confidential, which has only sparked rampant speculation online. Rumors are swirling, ranging from suspicions of a possible overdose or poisoning to theories about an undisclosed medical condition. With no official updates, fans are becoming increasingly worried, and even celebrities are demanding answers. When Papoose received the life-changing phone call in the middle of the night, witnesses claim he dropped his phone mid-conversation and rushed to the hospital in a panic, running red lights and calling out her name the entire way.
Thank God, first and foremost. I've been through a lot. My husband, Black Love, I love you, Papoose. When I didn't believe in myself, you believed in me.
Then came the devastating moment. Doctors handed Papoose a DNR, do not resuscitate form, essentially asking if they should let Remy go if her heart were to stop. In that instant, he completely broke down. "Hell no," he shouted, pushing the papers aside. "My wife's a fighter. You don't know her like I do." Nurses stood in shock as the usually calm and strong rapper completely fell apart, crying, trembling, and refusing to leave her side. Security footage, though unclear, allegedly shows him pacing the hospital corridors like a caged animal, grabbing doctors by their coats and demanding, "Try everything! I don't care what it costs!" Meanwhile, Remy remained motionless, silent, with only the steady beep of the machines keeping her alive breaking the stillness of the room. The most heart-wrenching moment came when Papoose leaned in close and whispered, "Baby, you promised me forever. Don't you quit on me now." Fans on social media are shattered. One wrote, "This is tearing me apart." Another questioned, "What really happened to Remy?" And countless others are simply praying for a miracle. Papoose was in the studio, creating an anniversary track for Remy when his phone rang. One moment, he was laying down sweet verses, and the next, he was dropping the mic and rushing out the doctor like the building was on fire. His engineer mentioned that Papoose's face drained of color when he got the news. Remy was in the hospital battling for her life. He raced through New York like a man on a mission, ignoring red lights, yelling at other drivers to clear the way, frantic to reach her. Eyewitnesses said he jumped out of his moving car at the hospital entrance, barefoot, without his jacket, overwhelmed by pure panic. When he finally saw Remy in that ICU bed, the man, known for his strength in rap, completely crumbled. Nurses recalled how his legs gave out, and he fell to the floor, sobbing loudly. His cries echoed throughout the entire ICU. It wasn't just heartbreak, it was a heart-shattering sorrow. Then Remy's mother entered the room and calmly dropped a devastating truth. "She's gone, Papoose. You need to let her rest." That's when everything erupted. Papoose snapped, "She's right there!" He yelled, pointing to the faint rise and fall of her chest, aided by the machines. "Her heart is still beating. You don't give up on family." His voice trembled with desperation as tears poured down his face. Security rushed in as the shouting intensified. Nurses stopped in their tracks, watching in silence, frozen by the turmoil. Even those in the waiting room stood up, whispering, caught in the scene. And all the while, Remy lay there in stillness, serene, almost as if she were simply napping, while those who loved her most fell apart around her. The entire scene was filmed on cell phones and spread across the internet in no time. Videos of Papoose crying by Remy's side quickly went viral, with fans sharing in his heartbreak. "This hurts too much to watch," one person commented. Others were stunned by how quickly Remy's mother seemed ready to let go. "Something's not right here," people began to say. As the hours passed, the tension grew. Doctors threatened to clear the room, but Papoose wouldn't move. He pulled a chair right up to Remy's bed, holding her hand like it was his lifeline. Every few minutes, he would lean in and softly whisper, "Come back to me, baby. Just come back." Amidst the heartbreak, something unusual began to unfold. What initially seemed like a medical crisis is gradually turning into a deeper enigma. People are beginning to question everything, from the hospital's lack of transparency to the timeline of what actually happened. As more details emerge, it's starting to feel like something is being concealed. And while Remy Ma remains motionless in that hospital bed, the questions outside her room are only growing louder. Doctors were shocked when they discovered an unknown substance in Remy Ma's body. Something she hadn't been prescribed, wasn't part of her medication, and no one could immediately identify. The discovery sent waves of shock through both the hospital and online communities. Where did it come from? Why was it in her system? Even before her collapse, those close to Remy had noticed she wasn't feeling well. She had been dizzy, fatigued, and at times seemed confused, but she kept pushing through, staying quiet and continuing to work. Then things took a darker turn. Someone noticed bruises on her neck and arms. Initially, it was dismissed as a possible fall or accident. But now people are beginning to ask the unsettling question: was Remy Ma hurt? Was this really a medical emergency? Or something much more sinister? As Remy battles for her life, turmoil is unfolding outside the ICU. Her record label is now trying to pull her latest unreleased track, which reportedly includes lyrics about betrayal, fake friends, and hidden enemies. Many believe the song was a direct message to people in her life, individuals with power, secrets, and perhaps hidden motives. The label is concerned about the potential backlash, but fans are convinced Remy was trying to issue a warning. Then, in a shocking turn, former Love and Hip Hop castmate Raheem Ali arrived at the hospital without notice. He approached Papoose, whispered something in his ear, and left just as quickly. Witnesses say Papoose appeared stunned, pale, as if he'd just heard something devastating. Now, fans are left with even more unanswered questions. What secret was Remy about to reveal? And did someone try to silence her before she could? Things just took a darker turn in Remy Ma's case. What began as a terrifying health scare has now escalated into a full-scale federal investigation. And the revelations are shocking. Surveillance footage from the hospital shows a nurse tampering with Remy's medical records, an action she had no clearance to take. Initially, many thought it was a simple mistake, but once the video went viral, everything changed. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered that this same nurse had direct connections to a powerful music executive. Even more troubling, large sums of money had been deposited into her bank account just days before Remy's collapse. Now, all signs are pointing to something far more sinister. Was this nurse bribed to cover up the truth? Was someone trying to alter Remy's diagnosis? Or even worse, silence her before she could reveal what she knew? Papoose isn't backing down. Standing resolutely by his wife, he took to social media with the hashtag Justice for Remy, demanding transparency from the hospital, her record label, and anyone involved in her care. The movement quickly gained momentum. Fans, fellow artists, and even people outside the hip-hop community have rallied behind him, all demanding answers. Papoose is convinced this wasn't a mere accident. Someone wanted Remy out of the picture, and he's determined to expose them. Remy's legal team has also joined the battle, digging into her contracts and connections within the industry. What they've uncovered is chilling. There are signs that her own label may have been attempting to silence her. If true, this isn't TL. Just about music, it's about power, control, and a woman who may have known too much. They didn't want Remy's latest song released. Why? Because the lyrics called out fake friends and exposed hidden lies. The label feared that the song would reveal too much about the industry, the people surrounding her, and the truths Remy might have been on the verge of sharing. This fear, combined with everything else, her sudden collapse, the tampered medical records, the mysterious money transfers, now suggests they could all be linked. Was someone trying to silence her before she could speak out? With every new revelation, the case becomes more complex, and the stakes keep rising. Yet, amidst the mounting chaos, there's finally a flicker of hope. It's not a full recovery, but after everything, this small sign of life feels like everything. Doctors were conducting a routine nerve test on Remy, expecting no response. But then something miraculous happened. Her toe twitched. At first, they thought it might have been a fluke. But when they tested again, her toe moved a second time. This tiny, almost imperceptible movement meant everything. It signified that her brain was still active, still functioning. She may not be able to speak or open her eyes, but this was a sign, a powerful sign, that she's still fighting. Papoose was by her side when it happened. Upon hearing the news, he smiled, held her hand, and whispered, "I knew you were still in there." Fans around the world celebrated this small victory, their hope reignited by the tiniest spark of light in an otherwise dark situation. Fans flooded social media with messages of support and prayers. One fan wrote, "Remy, keep fighting. We believe in you," bringing hope to many who were following her journey. But as the night wore on, something mysterious occurred. A hooded figure arrived at the hospital, entering through a back entrance and avoiding any contact with staff or visitors. Rumors quickly spread that this individual was someone from Remy's past. The visitor didn't stay long. They handed a flash drive to someone at the hospital and left without saying a word. No one knows who they were or what their intentions were, but that flash drive may hold the key to unlocking many of the unanswered questions surrounding this entire ordeal. Those who have seen the flash drive believe it contains video clips, possibly even crucial evidence about what really happened to Remy. Some suspect that one of the clips might reveal the person responsible for her condition. While Papoose hasn't publicly commented on the flash drive yet, those close to him feel it's a pivotal piece of the puzzle. It could be the key to validating everything they've been working to expose. With all eyes on them, Papoose continues to do everything in his power to fight for Remy's recovery. As the world watches this emotional battle unfold, the mystery behind her collapse only grows more complex. Stay tuned for updates on her condition and the expanding investigation. If you care about justice and Remy's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. This fight is far from over.